All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another quick video. All right, y'all, back with my quick review for episode 2 of the Ultimate Fighter 30. This was the episode covering the flyweight fight between Kaytlin Young and Helen Peralta. And once again, we had an entertaining episode. Just want to give my quick thoughts on it. First off, to say, I enjoy always watching the backgrounds of these fighters, Kaytlin Young and Helen Peralta. And, even the heavyweights last week, I like seeing just the stories on where they came from and what got them into fighting, because the majority of the time, it always seems like you'll always come across the same story, but there's always some type of unique twist on everybody's story. I mean, there's always the same stories where you hear somebody, coming from the background where they got bullied and they got into fighting, but there's always like some twist to it. Like for this one, Kaytlin Young, you wouldn't even think she would have gotten into fighting. She came from the Mormon background. She's from those big families out, and I think she said Utah. So Kaytlin Young, she's like a 30-something, and she's single with no kids, while her other brothers and sisters, they all married and have kids now. They all have the big families, and that's how the Mormon background is, from my understanding. They're more like a family-oriented type group, and they just kind of stay away from fighting, right? But Kaytlin Young, she got pulled into the world of fighting. She came from, like, I think the dancer background. I think like she was a ballerina, I think, or something like that. I mean, she has the physique of it. She looks athletic like that, so I could see her coming from that background. But Kaytlin Young, she delved into the fight world. She's been doing it ever since, and she's training with Syndicate. She trains with Roxanne Modafferi and JoJo and all those fighters. JoJo's husband, is one of her coaches. So she's been preparing for this fight at flyweight. Helen Peralta, Helen Peralta, everybody knows her pretty much by now. She used to fight at 115. I've seen a lot of her fights. I've seen her debut. She, I think, lives out in Iowa, if I'm correct, if I remember correctly. I want to say Ohio, but Iowa. One of those states out there. One of those states way out on the west side near, or in the Midwest or somewhere like that. But Helen Peralta, she's one of those rough and rugged fighters. She's always kind of brought that type of energy. That she likes to go in there and fight. She's a bare knuckle brawler as well. Bare knuckle boxer, and she always brings that entertaining style. In all of her fights, even in Invicta, she's always been entertaining like that. And this episode didn't really have too much crazy drama between the fighters. Both of them are respectable to each other. But, Helen Peralta, she's still bringing that energy on the side because, like I said, last episode, she was one of the first ones to hit that liquor cabinet, and she was the first one out there, getting that liquor in her. She was out there talking trash already because she thought, as far as like when the teams were being picked, she thought that Amanda Nunes was going to pick her, but Juliana Pena wound up picking her. She was pissed off about that, right? She got pissed off about that, and she was salty towards Amanda, and as she got a drink in, and she was like, F Amanda, she was like, F Amanda Nunes, and, her other teammates, they were like, dang, they were kind of looking at her like, wow, this girl's about to let go. So that part was kind of entertaining, but in my opinion, it's like, whoever picks you, it don't matter. I mean, I know she kind of idolizes Amanda Nunes, but hey, you got the opportunity. They picked you early. At least somebody picked you early. Hey, Chantel Coates got picked last, and Nunes didn't even pick her, And Chantel Coates, like I said, is a pretty promising fighter in my opinion. So not getting picked by Amanda Nunes, I mean, you just got to take that astride and just let it go. But like she said, she's a female, so she's still going to be sensitive. I mean, she got that hard edge to her, but she admitted that she's a female and she can be petty. So, hey, she said it. She said it. She's the one that said that. She solidified that, like how most of us think. But, hey, that's another story. But anyways, yeah, Helen Peralta, I mean, she was bringing that type of energy, but it was entertaining. But I also like how she kind of described her training regimen. She likes to, get up whenever she's feeling it. Could be like 6 a.m. She hit her trainer up and say, there's some things I want to work on. I like that. That's the kind of energy that's going to help you improve as a fighter. She likes to get up, work on different things as far as her striking, her range. And she said one of the things that interested me was the fact that she said she don't really like to lift weights. She said she likes to work on, those the little muscles, like just those micromuscular things, like her reflexes. She uses the hula hoop to kind of work her hips and, keep her power up. It helps her turn her hips over, just those little smart things like that, because, generating your hips like that, it will help you turn over your hips as you throw punches, which everybody knows if you generate power from the core, that's going to deliver more power, right? And, she's also working with the tennis ball that you tie to your head, and, that helps work on your precision, your reflexes, and so on, So she does a lot of nice little micro training things that I think really help her style of fighting. That's why she's so comfortable fighting with her hands down and measuring range with her eyes, and she's able to slip and duck punches, right? So I think that was pretty interesting on her part. But as far as how the fight went, Kaytlin Neal, she's a big, strong wrestler and a grappler. She was kind of towering over Helen Peralta. And the one thing I still have to ask myself about Helen Peralta is she really a flyweight? I'm gonna answer that after the fight, after I talk about the fight. But is she really a flyweight? Because just seeing her stand in there and just her size and her frame and her shoulders, like she really looks like a 115er, So yeah, when they stood head to head, I was like, this is a big task, and to think Helen Peralta is going to be in this division dealing with big fighters now. Imagine if she was to get into the top 10. They're only going to get harder from it, right? But yeah, as far as how the fight went, everybody knows Kaytlin Neal. She won the fight. It went to a third round. She won 2 rounds to 1. The first round, I thought Helen Peralta won. I thought she did a good job of controlling the clinch. She was fighting well on the inside. Like, I like the striking attack she had on the inside of, holding the back of the neck of Kaytlin Neal and pushing her back. She was doing a lot of muscling early on. So I think that's probably what kind of gassed her, because she was dealing with such a big fighter. But she was landing better shots. She was controlling the head, working a lot of good uppercuts to the body and to the head. Good inside fighting from Helen Peralta that first round. Second round, I think, was more Kaytlin Neal. She kind of controlled the pace. Helen Peralta slowed down. She started pushing and pressing Helen to the cage, landing some good leg kicks here and there, a couple good right hands, and again, just putting her weight on her and really making Helen work. So I was wondering too, like, if Helen Peralta was going to turn it up here, because she won the first round clearly. I thought she was keep up that same pace because she had the better striking. She had the better striking. I thought she should have kept it at a distance and just worked the body and stop, trying to push the bigger fighter and let the bigger fighter lay on. Because Juliana Pena was like, you got to turn it up. In that second round, she was like, you got to turn it up. She was like, come on, let it go. And that's the thing. Once again, like, Juliana Pena, you can always hear her in that corner. I mean, you can hear her over everybody. Every time she has a fighter in there, her fighter's in there, she's gassing them up. She's telling them what to do. And I think Helen wasn't listening. Like, she was yelling right in her ear. She was like, hey, you got to turn it up. So when I saw that second round, I was like, yeah, it's going to the third. I think Helen Peralta, she just let it get tied up. Then in the third round, she let Kaytlin control the distance a little bit more, push her back in the clinch. I thought Helen Peralta landed some good overhand rights and a couple good, calf kicks behind the thigh. I thought she landed more significant strikes, but I guess they liked the energy that Kaytlin Neal was bringing. Kaytlin Neal was, really pressing and took over in the later half of the round. So after watching it, I was just like, well, Helen Peralta, she was talking, big talk. She always brings that persona, being the bully in there. So it should have been on her to dominate just the first 2 rounds, and we wouldn't have had the third round or go in there and look for the finish, So, yeah, Kaytlin Neal, she took it. It was her win. I thought Helen did get the win at first. I was like, yeah, I thought she should have got it. But, it went Kaytlin Neal's way. And that's what it is whenever you don't go in there and finish. And I think these fights are good experiences for, these tough contenders. Now they can say, this is what I need to do. Like, I need to clean this up, because the judges might see something that they favor over what I do, right? So it should be on somebody like Helen Peralta, who's bringing the power, who's carrying this, rough, rugged fighter energy in there to go in there and dominate and finish, right? So it was on her. There's nobody to blame but her. I can't even look at the judges to be blamed. So, yeah, Kaytlin Neal, she got the victory. Another thing, Kaytlin Neal, her father had passed away, during the filming of the show. And I think that's just one of those things that helps these fighters kind of blank out sometime and, kind of do it for their father or their mother. And it just puts them in a, another realm, kind of like Deanna Bennett just a few months back, whenever her father had passed away, she went in there and took Alejandra Lara out. Like, she didn't finish her, but, she dominated, right? So, it's just one of those things. So, yeah, moving forward from here, Kaytlin Neal, she's moving on. As for Helen Peralta, like I said, it's one of those things that it's 2 things. Well, she needs to really decide if she's going to be a 125-pounder, because to me, I still don't think she looks like one. She looked pretty small in there. But if she's going to be one, she better start bringing that power. She better really start sitting down on that power. I mean, you can walk people down, but if you keep letting them just slip and slide out, they'll take you down to the ground and that'll be it, right? So yeah, because even Nunes said in training when she was talking to Kaytlin Young, she was like, taking her down is probably going to be the best bet here, and don't try to strike with her. So yeah, Helen Peralta. Overall, Helen Peralta, I think she has a good fighting style, but I don't really see her as this like devastating power puncher. I think a Manon Fiorot is more of a harder hitter than her. Even Jennifer Mai, when Jennifer Mai lets her hands go, I think she's a harder hitter. Even like Viviane Araújo, especially for the flyweight division. Macy Barber, those are like hard clubbers to me. But Helen Peralta, I don't really think of that hard a puncher. I mean, she has like a gritty style about her, but she's really not. She's not really making that stamp on it. Even like in her past couple fights, she can dominate with her strength, but not just the full-on punches. Like it's not like a string of KOs, like in as of lately, just to say that. So yeah, man, another good episode. Like I said, final thoughts. I enjoyed this one. With Kaytlin Young moving on, we'll see what she can do as she gets further into the game. Like I said, I think she's a pretty big, strong, athletic fighter. Athletic fighter. So I think with her frame and her size, it's definitely going to fit 125. But Helen Peralta, I don't know, guys. If y'all watched the episode, let me know what y'all think. Do you see her as a strawweight or a flyweight? Because moving into the division, fighters like Aaron Blanchfield and Macy Barber, that's going to be a big task if they do sign Helen Peralta, right? So yeah, man, let me know, guys, if y'all saw the episode. Give me your thoughts. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.